Good afternoon, everybody. Along with Cubs legend Ron Santo, it's Pat Hughes reporting. It is a beautiful day here in the Valley of the Sun. Temperatures well into the 70s. Cloudless blue skies overhead. A perfect day for a ball game. The starting pitchers today, a couple of right-handers for the Cubs. Carlos Silva will work the first few innings, possibly as many as 4 innings, as we are about midway through the Cactus League. And Neftali Feliz, a highly touted young right-hander in the Rangers organization, will start for Texas. So Carlos Silva against Neftali Feliz. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for today's game. The lineups are brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Experience wellness everywhere. Leading off for the Rangers, Julio Bourbon in center field. Elvis Andrus at short. Batting third and playing in left, David Murphy. Nelson Cruz in the cleanup spot for Texas. Cruz in right. And batting fourth, Chris Davis at first base. The third baseman for Texas, Matt Brown. Chad Tracy is the designated hitter. Each team, by the way, has a guy by the name of Chad Tracy in their starting lineup today. They are not related. The catcher for Texas bats eighth. His name is Taylor Teagarden, and Joaquin Arias is batting ninth and playing second base. For the Cubs today, Ryan Theriot leads off at short. Kosuke Fukudome in right. Xavier Nady, the designated hitter. Batting fourth in center, Marlon Byrd. Micah Hoffpauir at first base. Hoffpauir hitting fifth. Alfonso Soriano in left. Mike Fontenot at second base. The number 8 Cubs hitter is catcher Giovanni Soto. And batting ninth, third baseman Chad Tracy. It's Silva for the Cubs and Feliz for the Rangers. Back to get this Cactus League encounter underway right after this on the WGN Cubs Radio Network. The Cubs are on the field. Silva making his final few warm-up pitches prior to the start of today's game. The Cubs in their home whites with the blue pinstripes, white shirts and trousers, blue hats, blue numbers, blue socks, and dark shoes. The Rangers, the traveling team today here in Mesa, sporting blue shirts, gray trousers, blue hats, blue socks, dark shoes. Carlos Silva on the mound, facing the leadoff hitter, Julio Bourbon, on a picture-perfect day here in Mesa. Boy, Ronnie, you couldn't ask for a nicer day.
Oh, it's gorgeous, Pat, and we've had You know, this week has really been a good week, and they're calling for about 80-degree days for the next 3 or 4, and then back down to the high 70s. So it's really nice and a gorgeous day today.
Julio Bourbon takes the first pitch in for a strike, and away we go. Ronnie Silva making his 3rd start of the spring. He struggled in the first game. Here's the next pitch. Popped up left side, foul down the line. Long run Soriano, angling over and sliding and not making the play is Terrio, but a good effort by Ryan. He angled down the line into foul territory. The shortstop slid on the warning track in front of the barrier in foul territory and just came up empty. Good effort, though.
A very good effort.
But I was going to say, Silva, though, in his last start 5 days ago, pitched very well. 3 shutout innings against San Diego.
Well, after his first outing, Larry Rothschild took him aside and started to change his mechanics.
Fastball, strike 3 call. 1 away. Top of the first. No score. Here's Elvis Andrus.
And the difference has been thrown across his body. And what he's telling me, it's a different angle. So the ball has more of a tendency to sink. And that's when he was pitching well, that's what he was doing. But his first outing, everything, we talked about it, Pat, everything was straight.
Elvis Andrus lines one, diving catch by Fontenot. The second baseman diving toward the hole made a magnificent play. 2 down.
Boy, that's pretty to look at. That timing there. And he's about 5'8". He stretched out as far as he could.
Snow cone job.
Yeah, very nice.
You can see that ball sticking out the end of the webbing of the glove of the second baseman. 2 down. David Murphy, left-handed batter with some power, takes a strike. This guy belted 17 home runs for the Rangers a year ago. These 2 teams will play a series in Texas during the regular season, part of the interleague package. Comes in the month of May. Now the 1-1 from the right-hander Silva. Fastball just down low. Gary Darling calling balls and strikes today. Will Robinson working at first. Jerry Davis, the second base umpire, and Alfonso Marquez at third. Murphy swings and fouls it away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Opening day 3 weeks from yesterday. The Cubs will be in Atlanta on Monday, April the 5th. Carlos Zambrano against Derek Lowe. Now the 2-2. Fisted foul back out of play. Bobby Cox just made that announcement a few days ago that Lowe will be the Braves opening day starter.
I'm not surprised about that.
Lowe pitched 8 shutout innings in the opener against the Phillies a year ago. Here's the 2-2. Lukeman is shallow left. That's going to fall for a base hit. On one hop, Soriano toward the line, gloves it, and gets it back in.
That looked like an off-speed pitch. And Murphy just stayed back and went the other way with it.
Carlos Silva, a big man, 6'4", 250 pounds. Came to the Cubs from Seattle on December the 18th in the Milton Bradley transaction. No score, a man at first. 2 down, top of the first, and Nelson Cruz, the hitter. This guy's a real slugger. He takes high for a ball. 33 home runs a year ago. Oddly, though, Ron, 33 homers for Cruz and only 76 RBIs.
Yeah,
you'd expect more.
Yeah, definitely. And they're a good hitting ball club, Pat, and a lot of home run hitters on that ball club. That's a field, though, that the ball really travels well. So hot that that I think pitchers get worn out early.
Tough place to pitch.
Yeah, very tough.
Here's the 1-1. Fastball is inside to Nelson Cruz. Several regulars on both sides not in the lineup today. Derek Lee and Aramis Ramirez are resting. Ramirez with a slightly sore right shoulder area. Change up in for a strike 2-2. Derek Lee with a slightly bruised left foot.
Yeah, Derek Lee hit a ball off his foot. And Lou with the day off tomorrow, and he said everybody needs a day off. And with Ramirez and Lee.
And the pitch hits Cruz in the left hand, right near the wrist. A fastball. Cruz couldn't get out of the way, and he got nailed, and he's in some pain.
Yeah.
Cruz doubled over. The trainer out to take a look at him. Cruz got nailed right near the left wrist, I believe.
That ball just ran in on him.
Now they're looking at his right lower arm, kind of in the forearm area.
Well, that happens when you're trying to get out, but you can't get the other arm out of the way, and probably nailed him there. Let's hope it's in the forearm. That wrist is dangerous.
Cruz, a very valuable guy, homered last night for the Rangers. He's going to stay in the game. Texas, managed by Ron Washington, their general manager John Daniels. These two clubs have a similarity, Ron. They are both under new ownership. Rangers' new ownership group contains the legendary Nolan Ryan.
Yeah, he's part of it. He was the president.
Chris Davis, the batter, 2 outs, 2 on, scoreless game, top of the first. Changeup is outside, ball 1. Davis, left-handed batting first baseman, had 21 home runs a year ago. Great crowd today in Mesa. Now the 1-0, swing and a miss on a change.
You know, it's funny, I had said this quite a while ago that I thought with the kind of salaries that are being made today in baseball, you're going to find a player buying a ball club.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Here's the 1-1. Loop foul, backhand out of play.
I would say Alex Rodriguez probably could buy it by himself.
Well, the Cubs owned by Tom Ricketts and the Ricketts family. Before he made his bid, did you consider trying to buy the Cubs? No, none of my business. Just considering your immense wealth.
Yeah.
Now the 1-2. Fastball, strike 3 call. Inning over. Silva gets a pair of strikeouts. The Rangers, no runs, a hit, they leave 2, and Ron with a lot more money now in his wallet. After a half, the score, Texas nothing, and the Cubs coming up.
Ryan Dempster. John Williams has serious issues. Weekdays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on the home of the Cubs, Chicago's WGN Radio 720.
21-year-old Neftali Feliz is the pitcher for the Rangers. He is a very highly touted and much publicized young right-hander, just 21 years old. Burst onto the big league scene a year ago, Ron, and made 20 appearances and had a 1.74 ERA. This is our first look at him as he delivers low to Terrio, ball 1.
Yeah, this is our first look, and he does come over the top, and it looks like he's in that 95 on up range.
He's from the Dominican Republic. 6'3", 215-pounder. The next fastball is outside. I'll give you some numbers. This will tell you that he's got some stuff, Ron. In 31 big league innings a year ago, 31 innings, 13 hits allowed. And in those same 31 innings, 39 strikeouts. Those will open your eyes.
Yeah.
3-1 Ontario.
But you got to throw strikes, and evidently he has been.
Here's the pitch on the way. Terrio takes a strike. Nothing but fastballs so far.
Well, Lou Piniella had mentioned the fact that Terrio will be the leadoff hitter. And
popped up foul, Ron.
I think that's definitely going to help him because, as you know, Pat, when he hit that 7 home runs last year and he get 2 strikes on him, he struck out 100 times. And a leadoff hitter's got to cut it down. He's very disciplined at the plate, but he's got to protect the plate with 2 strikes, not be swinging for the fences. I think he realizes that's going to be the case, especially with Rudy, the hitting coach, Jaramillo, has stressed that with him.
No score, bottom of the first, a 3-2 to Terrio. Swinging a ground ball, broken bat right side. Bobbled by the first baseman, Davis. Terrio is safe. It was really the second baseman's play. Davis ranged way over off the bag on a slowly hit ball and tried to make a difficult running backhanded stop and never got the handle.
I agree on that one. That's very obvious. I mean, if he gets it, I think he throws him out, but if he doesn't, and that is a tough play for a first baseman. That ball was not hit hard. It was kind of broke bat. I think it was on the end or wherever, and the grass grabbed that ball.
Kosuke fouls it away. Getting back to Terrio and Lou naming him as the Cubs' leadoff hitter, Ron, he did something in that at bat that I also liked, and that's not only taking some pitches but working deep into the count. Fouled off a couple. It was like an 8 or 9 pitch sequence, and that is an important thing, I think.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's always been pretty disciplined at the plate. His only problem was last year that the second half, he looked like he was going for every pitch he was going for a home run. He's got a short, compact swing.
Curveball is in for a strike to Kosuke.
And he's now knows what he has to do. He's a smart ball player. He's a gamer. Gives you everything he's got.
Kosuke hit .259 a year ago. Left-handed batter. Holds that bat high. The pitch, swing and a miss. Good fastball, strike 3.
Yeah.
This kid can bring it.
Yeah, he can bring it.
1 away, no score. Terrio at first on the error by the first baseman Davis. And here is Xavier Nady performing as the designated hitter today. Even though it's a National League park, both managers, Lou Piniella and Ron Washington, agreeing to use the DH.
Yeah. Spring training.
You want to take a look at a lot of your players. Go to first, not in time. The Cubs did make a roster move earlier today, sending out a young right-handed pitcher by the name of Rafael Dolis to Double-A Tennessee, but they still have 50 players in camp. Now the pitch, Nady, the former Pirate, former Padre, takes a strike in the count 0-1.
Well, we're almost midway through spring training. So I'm sure there's going to be some moves.
Probably by this weekend, Ron.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that, yeah.
Curveball is in there for a strike.
Boy, good curveball.
0-2. Neftali Feliz, the young pitcher for the Rangers, he actually was drafted by Atlanta. And remember when Mark Teixeira was traded for several players a few years back in the deal between Atlanta and Texas? Here's a fastball that spins Nady away. Well, when Teixeira went from Texas to the Braves, this kid came the other way in that deal. And that happens a lot, Ron, when there's a pressure on a team to acquire a coveted player like Mark Teixeira. You've got to give up some players in return. There goes the runner, Terrio. Swing and a miss. The throw by the catcher, Teagarden. In-time double play. Billy strikes out Nady on a high curve. Teagarden cuts down Terrio on the play that goes 2-6. Inning over. Cubs don't score. We played one in the Cactus League. Cubs nothing. Rangers nothing.
Hi, I'm Derek Lee, and Steve Cochran wishes he was me. Listen to him weekday afternoons at 4 on Chicago's WGN Radio 720.
Carlos Silva starts the second inning by delivering a fastball strike. No score with Ron Santo. Pat Hughes in Mesa, Arizona. Matt Brown leads it off and hits a high pop fly way up in the air, right side of the infield. Michael Hoffpower will pull it down out of the sky. One down. The game time temperature today, 75 glorious degrees. And the game time temperature brought to you by Four Seasons Heating and Air Conditioning. For all the right reasons, Four Seasons. One away, Chad Tracy stepping in. Again, each team, what are the odds, Ron, that each team would have a guy with the exact same name?
Yeah.
Chad Tracy in their lineup today. Check swing. It's in there for a strike. I remember a few years back when the Cubs would play the Marlins, each team had a starting shortstop by the name of Alex Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Same name.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's the 0-1 pitch, bounced to short behind the bag. Terrio gloves it, throws him out. 2 down. Scoreless game in the second, and here is Taylor Teagarden. Teagarden made a very nice throw to cut down Terrio to end the first inning. The Rangers, Ron, have quite a battle for their starting catcher spot. I'm talking more about their names instead of their talent. How about the names of Taylor Teagarden and Jared Saltalamacchia? There is a strike. Saltalamacchia,
yeah,
one of the only guys who has 5 of the letter A in his last name. I'm going to quiz you on this later on, Ron. Here's a liner to left, a base hit for Teagarden. Solid 2-out single. No score second inning, and here is Joaquin Arias. In addition, Saltalamacchia believed to be the only guy with 6 syllables in his last name ever in the history of the big leagues. I think Saltalamacchia. Amazing. If you can tell me of a longer name or more syllables, I'd love to hear about it. Throw to first, not in time. I know I do. And I know a lot of our listeners do. They're writing this down. They're going to the baseball encyclopedia. Or not. Here's the next offering. A curveball is down low to Joaquin Arias. Names are part of the fun of baseball.
Yeah.
I've always thought they were. 1 ball and no strikes. Cubs will be home for a lot of games in the month of April. Come on out and enjoy fabulous Wrigley Field. Here's the pitch. Fastball inside. Most of you know the Cubs' home opener is Monday, April the 12th against the Brewers. After a day off on the 13th, the Brewers series continues on Wednesday the 14th and Thursday the 15th. Tickets available for both of those games, as well as the Houston series starting on April 16th. Not every game is sold out. Especially in April and May, there are tickets available. Go to Cubs.com or give the Cubs a call at 1-800-THE-CUBS. The pitch to Arias, fastball strike, and the count 3-1. Later in the month, Washington and Arizona come in. In May, teams like Florida, Pittsburgh, and Colorado come to Wrigley. Ground ball to short. This is going to end the inning. Terrio scoops it up, makes the short throw to Fontenot. There's the force on the runner, Teagarden, and that retires the side. No runs on a hit, 1 left after an inning and a half. Cubs nothing, Rangers nothing.
Hey, it's Derek Lee. Greg Jarrett gets the Wrigley Life rolling every weekday morning from 5 to 9 on the home of the Cubs, Chicago's WGN Radio 720.
It's Cubs Spring Training Baseball on Chicago's WGN Radio, brought to you by Permaseal Basement Systems and Foundation Repair. Second inning, Marlon Byrd, the former Ranger, steps in, facing Neftali Feliz. No score. Byrd, the Cubs right-handed batting center fielder, will take down low for ball 1. Some of the Ranger reporters were talking with Byrd before the game on the field. Here's the 0-1. Fastball is down low. Each team with a few guys that used to perform for the other. I was looking in the front office section of the Ranger Media Guide. Here's a fly ball, shallow center, racing in Bourbon, gets there. The left-handed center fielder makes the catch. 1 away, scoreless game, second inning, and here's Michael Hoffbauer. The former Cubs in the front office. Jim Sundberg is a senior executive vice president for the Rangers. You realize the senior director of player development is former Cubs catcher Scott Service.
I'll be darned.
Yeah, Scotty, a Cubs catcher from 1995 to 98. Nice young man.
Oh, yeah.
Hoffpower swings and misses 0-1. And Jim Colborn.
I'll be darned. Jim, my man.
Fouled away. Jimmy Runn is the director of Pacific Rim Operations for the Rangers. Alfonso Soriano, a former Ranger, on deck for the Cubs as Feliz fires swing and a miss, strike 3. That's an overpowering fastball right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Third strikeout for Feliz. And the batter is Soriano. Going back to the trade involving Atlanta and Texas, it saw Feliz come from the Braves organization to Texas. Baseball History Run is full of stories like that where general managers in the heat of a pennant race feel like they need to pull the trigger on a big trade. There's Soriano stepping in. And the pitch on the way. Fastball is a strike.
Well, I tell you, he's straight with that fastball, Pat, but it gets on you in a hurry. It kind of explodes. Good curveball, too. That's going to fool you.
Line to left, a base hit. Toward the line, Murphy will pick it up. Soriano with a 2-out single.
And, you know, I had a talk down by the cage with Rudy Jaramillo about Soriano. And I said, how's he coming? He said, Ron, he hasn't lost any bat speed. I know they talked about him having too heavy of a bat, but he says, believe me, that's not the problem. He still has the bat speed, and you saw it right there. With it looked like a fastball.
It was.
Yeah, that he turned on this guy. And it's a matter of him, and I know this is hard for a lot of listeners to understand, but as a hitter, you got to plant that foot, that lead foot, before that bat starts. And that's been his big problem. He's been not planting that foot quick enough, and that's what he's working on. And remember we talked about Lee, how he kicks up high, and everything's got to be in a rhythm for everything to go well.
2 outs, a man at first, no score, second inning. Fontenot takes low and in, an off-speed pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike. And watching Soriano running, he's moving well, but not quite at full speed just yet. After that knee surgery last year. Throw to first, Soriano dives back in. Great crowd on the grassy hillsides out beyond the barriers in left center and right center. Beautiful sunny day in Arizona. Fontenot fouls it away. Got a pitch to hit, fouled it straight back.
Now here's a guy that is really having a great spring. He's got, I think, 8 RBIs. He leads the club in RBIs.
Lou Piniella saying earlier today, Fontenot with a slight edge over Jeff Baker.
Yeah, he even mentioned on the show today that his lineup, if they were to open tomorrow, would be Fontenot at second base. And it would be, the lineup of Fontenot, Fukudome, Lee, Ramirez, Bird, Soriano, Fontenot, and Soto.
3-2. There goes the runner. The pitch popped up foul and back out of play. I was looking at that tentative lineup run, and right now Giovanni Soto is in that number 8 spot, but that could change if Soto goes back to hitting a lot of homers the way he did 2 years ago.
And he's starting to swing the bat. You know, this past week he's done pretty well.
So he could move up.
Yeah.
Here's a swing and a foul back. 3-2 on Fontenot.
And I tell you, Fontenot right on that fastball, and that had to be about 95, 97.
I was thinking about Bird hitting 5th and Soriano 6th. I was asking myself a question earlier. What really is the difference between the number 5 spot and the number 6 spot in an order?
I will tell you the difference.
We'll get back to this in just a minute. Fontenot strikes out swinging to end the inning. Cubs don't score, leave 1 after 2. The score, Cubs nothing, Rangers nothing.
Weather, we've got you covered with Tom Skilling's complete forecast on the radio. Accurate, complete, and dependable. Chicago's WGN Radio 720.
Third inning, Pat and Ron with you. Carlos Silva working on the leadoff man, Julio Bourbon, who swings and misses. Each team with 2 hits, neither side with a run so far. Ronnie, let's get back to that. The difference between the number 5 spot in the order and the number 6 spot in the order, what would be your opinion of that?
My opinion, there's no difference. Exactly none. And I'll tell you why, Patrick. The 5th spot's an RBI spot. The 6th spot's an RBI spot. That's why 2 guys are in that spot. Both should have power. You know, sometimes one will have more than the other. But in this case, or in any case, there's no difference.
Bounce to the right side, glove by Hoffbauer. The first baseman makes the unassisted play for out number 1.
It's an RBI spot. Actually, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are the RBI spots. And, you know, it's who you have also is important. In my day, I feel, who's hitting ahead of you and who's hitting behind you when you're a good hitter.
Andrews, the batter, lined out, a play on which Otno made a brilliant diving grab his first time.
If you look at 2 good hitters, you'll look at almost identical RBI, depending on what kind of team, how many runs they're scoring. But that's...
Fastball bounced left side, glove by the third baseman. Tracy straightens up, squares up the shoulders to make the throw to first, 2 down. Tracy gloved it and then able to face first base before starting to make the throw. That's the way you want to do it.
That's exactly the way, and that's only natural.
2 gone. David Murphy, the batter. But that lineup, Lou Piniella loves to think about and talk about lineups.
Every day.
Murphy takes a strike.
And we'll go in his office, and you've been there,
where
he'll ask you, what do you think of this lineup, or what do you think of this lineup? And they'll have 3 different lineups. And, you know, usually if you pick a lineup, even though he knows he's asking you, but he likes it when you give him the answer that he's pretty much made up his mind.
Fastball is high.
It's so good. You just love being around Lou. You know, it's all about baseball.
1 ball and 2 strikes. No score, 3rd inning. The pitch to Murphy popped up. Playable left side, fair territory. Tracy, the third baseman, puts the squeeze to it. Silva looks good. 3 shutout innings so far for the Cubs right-hander. After 2.5, it remains Cubs nothing, Rangers nothing. This is Lou Piniella.
I'm Joel Quenville. You're listening to the home of the Blackhawks and Cubs, Chicago's WGN Radio 720.
Bottom of the third, Giovanni Soto leads off, hits a high pop fly right side foul. Might be playable for Davis. The first baseman will make the catch on the run, basket style, in front of the Cubs' first base dugout. One away, scoreless game, and here is Chad Tracy.
You know, running like that with this sky so blue and that sun so bright, it's not easy play.
Davis sometimes run after a guy makes a catch like that. He'll look back up into the sky to see what he might do the next time regarding blocking out the sun. Tracy, left-handed batting third baseman for the Cubs, takes high. Cubs baseball brought to you by Permaseal Basement Systems and Foundation Repair. Nice to have them along all during this Cactus League. Fastball is down low and the count 2-0. Every spring there are any number of new baseball books and publications that come out. Swinging a foul back. There's a magazine out called Cubs Annual 2010. Lots of good stuff in there. Scouting reports, keys to the season, interviews, stats, history, great photos. Put out by Maple Street Press. Swinging a foul back. We can't mention all of the books that we get, but this in particular for a Cub fan, I think you'd really like it. Go to maplestreetpress.com or visit any of the major bookstores in the Chicagoland area, newsstands, magazine stands, all over Chicagoland.
And I'll tell you something, Pat, I got that.
Fly ball to center, 2 down, Ron.
At home, and when I get on the bike, that's what I've been reading. I just, really interesting.
2 outs, nobody on, no score. We're in the third. Here's Terrio. Terrio reached on an error his first time. Cubs have 1 hit. The Rangers have 2. No score in the game. Terrio fouls away the first pitch by Neftali Feliz. The attendance today is going to be well over 10,000, maybe 12, possibly more.
I think it's going to be.
Terrio loops one to center. There's a base hit.
All right, that's what you like to see.
Now, will he be running here?
Hard to say on this. 2 outs. You know, I'm going to look at Feliz and see if he's got that high kick, and he might be running.
The batter is Kosuke. Kosuke struck out his first time. Terrio with a good lead. The stretch by Feliz. The runner not going, and Kosuke takes low for a ball. Well, we congratulate Ted Lilly and his wife Natasha on the birth of their first child, a baby boy by the name of Theodore Roosevelt Lilly IV. How's that for a name?
How about that? Only Lilly. Only Ted. And the good news is, Pat, he's way ahead of schedule. I had talked to Lou and very excited.
Ground ball, foul, fair down the third base line. A delayed call by the umpire Marquez. Terrio goes to third to second. Kosuke sliding a double. A delayed call by Marquez, the third base umpire. He hit a smash, Kosuke did, right over the third base bag on the ground. I'll tell you why the call was delayed. Marquez had to get out of the way.
Yeah, and I could see from here, Pat, that was fair.
It's a double. Kosuke almost slid too late at second base. Almost jammed that ankle or knee, but I think he's okay. The ball hit off the sidewall. The left fielder Murphy, hustling, got the ball back in. Second and third, 2 down, and here is Xavier Nady. Cubs try to score and grab the lead early in this game. Nady struck out into a double play his first time. Feliz ready in the pitch to Nady. Curve strike, 0-1.
Well, I tell you, he keeps getting that curveball over, and I'm talking about during the season, that's devastating because you got to be sitting on fastball with this guy, Felice.
The 0-1. Fastball swung on and missed.
Yeah.
He challenged him.
Yeah, but, I mean, that was a 98.
80, a mighty swing, came up empty.
You know what I like about this young kid? He's throwing strikes back.
That's always the key.
Yeah, and throws hard.
Fastball fouled away, challenged him again. That's a tough pitch. That strike 2 pitch, fastball right around the letters.
Yeah, and now you're behind in the count, and you haven't, and you don't. You got to be looking fastball here. You got to cut your swing down a little bit because he does have that breaking ball.
And there it is,
yeah.
Outside for a ball. Terrio at third, Kosuke at second, 2 down, scoreless game, bottom of the third.
I did notice that time he let up. I could see it in his motion.
The right-hander ready in the 1-2. Swinging a foul back.
Nady on a good fastball. Boy, you foul those back, and you know you're on it. You'd like to have it back.
The center fielder Bourbon shades Nady toward right center slightly. Big gap in left center.
I would say with him on the mound, they're going to shade every right-hander towards right center.
The 1-2. Line to left. That's a base hit.
On a curveball.
Into the corner, up against the wall. 2-run score. Nady with a double. Cubs lead 2-0.
Well, right there was a mistake. He threw a curveball down and away, a 1-2 count. That time hung a curveball. Good hitting by Nady.
Nady cracking one hop against the wall toward the left field corner area. Both Terrio and Kosuke scamper in to score. Cubs lead 2-0.
With 2 outs. You got to like that.
That's how you win games.
Yep.
Those clutch 2-out
we
run scoring hits.
Yep.
Here is Marlon Byrd. And the pitch. Byrd swings and misses at a fastball. Marlon flied to center his first time. A backward glance at the runner at second. Feliz deals. Byrd fouls it away. 0-2. Mike Quaddy in the coaching box at third. Ivan DeJesus, the former Cubs shortstop, in the coaching box at first. The 0-2 fisted foul off to the right and out of play. Very little breeze today, just a hint of a breeze blowing out slightly toward left, not much. Lots of sunshine, beautiful day. Now the 0-2 from Feliz. And Byrd takes a curve inside for a ball. Cubs yesterday made a trip down to Tucson, lost a game to Colorado. The bus broke down on the way there.
I heard. Gosh. Oh, middle of the desert, right?
Here's the 1-2. Byrd takes outside.
Was it going?
It was going. It was about a half hour out of Mesa, 45 minutes down the road to Tucson. It's normally about a 2-hour drive, but they had a clamp come off of the radiator line. I don't want to get too technical.
Well, you're very technical. What does that mean?
I have no idea. It means the engine died.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
Outside 3-2.
Did they get another bus, of course?
No, they had to get that one. You know, I'm not sure if they had that one repaired or if they got a new one. But they had to sit for over an hour.
Oh.
And they didn't get there until about 11:30. Bouncer up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. Rounding third and scoring is Nady. Cubs lead 3-0.
All right.
Marlon Byrd, a clutch single up the middle. Another good at-bat.
Yeah, good at-bat, Pat, and with 2 outs. Plus, he had an 0-2 count on him. Against Feliz, that's tough.
Same thing Nady had a minute ago.
Yeah.
Both men were 0-2 before battling and eventually getting clutch hits. Bird drove in 89 with the Rangers a year ago, gets a big RBI here. And the batter, Michael Hoffbauer. Mike Maddox, former Brewer pitching coach who did a lot of good things last year in his first year in Texas, is back again as their pitching mentor.
Yeah, he left the Brewers and went to the Rangers, and Rangers had a good year, didn't they?
They really did. They had one of their first winning years in quite some time. They won 87 games a year ago. They've only had 2 winning seasons in the last 10. But last year was one of them. They got some good young pitching. 2 outs. Hoffbauer, the batter, takes low and in. The count 1 ball, 1 strike.
And that's been a problem for a long time. Good pitching. They've had good hitting all along. A lot of power hitting. A lot of runs scored, but you're right. Last year was pitching.
Down low for a ball. It's kind of interesting when you read the numbers of the performances of guys in the other league, because, you know, we got games every day in the National League, and you really just can't follow the American League as closely. How about Scott Feldman, a pitcher for the Rangers a year ago? This guy was 17-8. 17-game winner, Scott Feldman.
Right-hander?
I'll have to look that up. Feldman is a right-hander. Yes, he is 6'7", 230 pounds. But that's a good year.
Oh, boy.
Now the 2-2 to Hoffbauer. The pitch popped up off the hands. Foul and playable, I believe. The catcher, Teagarden, will make the catch to end the inning. The Cubs, though, rally after 2 are out and nobody on. 4 consecutive hits turns into a 3-run rally. And at the end of 3, Cubs 3, Rangers nothing.
From the WGN newsroom, Tiger Woods says.
This is Coy Hill. You're listening to Chicago Cubs baseball. Chicago's WGN Radio 720.
Carlos Silva out to work his 4th inning. Fires inside to Nelson Cruz, ball 1. Cruz hit by a pitch in the 1st inning. He'll be followed by Chris Davis and Matt Brown. Cubs lead 3-0. A 2-run double by Xavier Nady and a run-scoring single by Marlon Byrd in the Cubs' 3rd. 1 ball, 1 strike on Nelson Cruz. Here's the pitch. Fastball in for a strike. Cubs baseball today brought to you by the Square D Company. Square D products by Schneider Electric. Part of the power at Wrigley Field. Cruz looks at a ball low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, these 2 teams will meet in a series in late May, a weekend, May 21, 22, and 23 in Texas. Fly ball right center, pretty well hit, playable for Bird or Kosuke. Bird is there, gloves it, one down. Through the skies to Bird. The sun is treacherous today, and you see a lot of guys holding that glove straight up to block that sun out as they try to focus on the ball. Before Davis bats, 10 seconds for station ID. This is the WGN Cubs Radio Network. Davis fouls it back. No balls and one strike. Carlos Silva pitching for the Cubs today. He's doing a good job throwing strikes. He has walked none. He did hit a batter, but he has only allowed 2 singles and no runs after 3 1/3. Carlos trying to win one of those starting spots to get the regular season underway.
Well, he's doing a good job the last 2 outings so far, Pat, which if that could help him, boy. Well, that pitch right there.
Strike 3 called.
He reached back and got a lot on that pitch.
On the inside corner, Davis called out on strikes for the second time. 2 down, and here's Matt Brown.
Wow, that looked pretty good.
Brown popped up his first time. Thinking of the Cubs playing the Rangers in the regular season, the Cubs will play a total of 18 interleague games this year. Those 3 in May in Texas, fastball strike, and then 15 straight interleague games in the month of June.
How about that?
Of course, 6 against the White Sox. Cubs play series against the Angels and A's, both at Wrigley. The Cubs go to Seattle
For 3 days and come back and play the Sox, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Are we coming back home, or are we going to the Sox?
Here's the pitch by Silva. Line to third, caught by Tracy Tuandian. Wow, 3 up, 3 down. At the end of 3 1/2, the score, the Cubs 3 and the Rangers nothing.
Hi, I'm Derek Lee, and Steve Cochran wishes he was me. And listen to him weekday afternoons at 4 on Chicago's WGN Radio 720.
With Cubs legend Ron Santo, Pat Hughes back in Mesa, Arizona. Cubs baseball today brought to you by Permaseal Basement Systems and Foundation Repair. 3-0 Cubs. Alfonso Soriano will lead off the 4th inning against a new Ranger pitcher. His name is Omar Beltre. Soriano cracked a single to left his first time. Fontenot and Soto to follow. Cubs will try to score some insurance runs today. Brought to you by State Farm. Soriano swings and fouls it back 0-1.
You know, I was talking to Rudy about him, as I said earlier. Also, I said last year, and we saw it, Pat, Soriano went to that plate with 0-2 on him before he even got there. And here we go again at 0-2. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not good. And pitchers see that, and as long as they can keep it out of the strike zone, and he's going after it.
Now the 0-2, way outside and low.
That bounced in front of the plate, alongside of it.
Catcher Teagarden, for some reason, tried to bare hand the ball on one hop. That's not advised. I would tell a catcher, please don't ever try that again.
Well, that's why they keep their hand behind them.
Check swing on a low outside curve, no swing. 2-2. Yesterday's pitcher for the Rangers, former Cub Rich Harden. Rich signed as a free agent by the Rangers. Another big-name free agent Texas signed was Vladimir Guerrero. Smashed foul down the left field line by Soriano. Vladimir Guerrero.
Yeah, I know it. But, you know, Pat, he's, I don't know how many years he's been in the big leagues, but, boy, he's put up some numbers. And he's, what, 38?
Swing and a miss. Soriano is gone, one down. Chased a high fastball. Let's say Guerrero is at least in the mid-30s, maybe 36.
Yeah.
But boy, at one time when he was with Montreal as a young player, he was great to watch, wasn't he? Power, throwing arms, speed, and he just loved playing the game.
You couldn't walk him.
That's true.
He swung at pitches in the third.
Oh, he was a
fouled
hitter.
them all. Oh my God.
Here is Fontenot batting. Cubs lead 3-0, bottom of the fourth. Fontenot takes a strike. Looking at some of the notes around baseball, Ron, I see that Cliff Lee of the Seattle Mariners was ejected yesterday for throwing a couple of brushback pitches in a game against the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah, the both pitches empty.
No punches were thrown.
No.
But Lee ejected from a Cactus League game. I don't see that very often.
Well, and I don't know Lee. He was with Philly.
Philadelphia that got traded then.
Yeah, he was with the Cleveland Indians when they got it, right?
Yes. Here's the 2-2. Outside for a ball.
I was kind of amazed they got rid of him.
It was a business decision. They knew that Lee was entering the final year of his deal. That was that multi-team trade where Roy Halladay ended up with the Phillies.
Yeah.
And Cliff Lee moved from Philadelphia to Seattle. Driven into right center, playable for Cruz. He comes in now to make the catch, 2 down. Fontenot flies to right. And here's Soto. Cubs lead 3-0 in the fourth. But the story yesterday, apparently, in the first inning, Lee collided with Chris Snyder in a play behind the plate while trying to back up a throw. He and Snyder collided. I did not see the video of that play, but I don't know if they shoved each other or if Lee felt that Snyder was a little too...
Did he throw it, Snyder?
Yes, that's why he was ejected.
Yeah.
Here's a pitch low and outside for a ball. It says he was ejected after throwing an inside pitch to Snyder and then tossing one over his head. And for a control guy like Lee, it was a little too suspicious. The 1-1, Soto pulls a bouncer foul past third.
Gosh, Soto looks good. You don't even recognize him. Feels good.
They need him.
Oh, and he knows it. And he himself is on a mission, boy.
Giovanni Soto hit just .218 a year ago. Here's the 1-2 by Beltre, low and outside for a ball. Soto popped up his first time. His power numbers were about half of what they were from the year before. Low and outside, the former Rookie of the Year, Giovanni Soto, with a count of 3-2.
And, you know, Pat, I read an article about the WBC, and really, they got to start. They're thinking about only minor league players playing in that WBC.
Be okay.
Really, because if you look at what's happened, so many injuries after that.
Ball 4 to Soto, and the batter is Chad Tracy. Cubs lead by 3. Bottom of inning number 4, 2 down. And Tracy steps in.
And even though these guys are in good shape when they come to spring training because they work out, but to go full boat in a sense, you can't go out there and just start playing a serious game.
Tracy fouls it away, and the count now is 1-1 strike.
You're not ready, and you develop some bad habits. And if you don't play much, you don't have a spring training. You lose a couple weeks.
Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter, and the 1-1 from Beltre. Lifted foul, slicing out of play down the left field line. 1-2. Giovanni Soto at first, being held on by Davis. You see where Ben Sheets of the Oakland A's had a very rough outing yesterday, Ron. He gave up 10 runs and did not retire a single batter.
Wow.
Think about that for a minute.
That's not good.
Curve in the dirt, check swing, strike 3. Tracy tried to check, couldn't do it, and the inning comes to an end. Cubs don't score. We move to inning number 5. It's the Cubs 3 and the Rangers nothing.
This is Ryan Dempster. You're listening to Chicago Cubs Baseball. Chicago's WGN, Radio 720.
Cubs Spring Training Baseball on Chicago's WGN Radio 720, brought to you by Permaseal Basement Systems and Foundation Repair. 5th inning, Cubs 3, Rangers nothing. If you're just joining us, the Cubs scored 3 in a cluster of 4 straight hits in the 3rd inning. Xavier Nady, a 2-run double, and then Marlon Byrd, a run-scoring single. And Smilene Caridad, the new Cubs pitcher, fires a strike 0-1.
What a job he did last year, Pat, coming up early, not in September, a little earlier than that. Ended up with an ERA of 1.40 and good live fastball. I mean, we're talking 95. And he's got a slider. And he's a guy, Pat, that doesn't get rattled out there.
It's cool.
He's very cool. And I like that for a young guy.
Chad Tracy grounded out his first time. He takes the strike. Again, both teams with a guy named Chad Tracy in their lineup. Excellent outing by Carlos Silva today. 4 shutout innings of 2-hit ball. Fly ball, left field, slicing toward the line. Long run, Soriano. That ball drifts out of play. Foul. But Silva was a little bit wobbly in the opening inning, gave up a single and then hit a batter. But after that, he was smooth sailing.
Oh, yeah. He didn't, and as the game went on, Pat, it looked like he was throwing a little harder. But 2 good outings in a row since changing his angle.
Now Caridad's 2-2. Grounded off the hands to second base. Fontenot gets down on it and throws him out. 1 away. Silva ended up retiring the last 7 batters he faced and 10 of the final 11. Cubs lead by 3, inning number 5, and here is Taylor Teagarden. Thinking about Caridad, as you were talking about him being composed and cool under pressure. Here's the pitch to Teagarden. He takes low for a ball. I remember the Sunday night game, and for some reason that game just sticks in my mind. In St. Louis, it was late in the year. The Cubs were out of it. The Cardinals were flying high. The fans at Busch Stadium were flying high. Here's a pop foul down the right field side, out of play. The Cardinals were on the brink of sweeping the Cubs in that series. It got to a Sunday night. I want to say it was the 9th or the 10th inning. Caridad is pitching. The Cardinals had the bases loaded with 1 out, and here they are run. They're on the brink of sweeping the series.
Yeah.
But Caridad stayed cool. He got somebody to hit into a double play. Maybe Matt Holliday, maybe Ryan Ludwig. I think it was Ludwig who hit into a double play. In fact, Holliday got called for interference, breaking up the play at second base, if you remember.
Yes.
Here's the pitch.
He really went out of his way.
Yeah.
I mean,
but it was Caridad who stayed cool, who kept the Cubs in that game. The Cubs eventually won the game in extra innings, and I think that was a big development step for him. Here's the pitch outside. Anytime you're under pressure like that, Ron, and you come through as a young player, that's a good thing.
Well, you can't tell that he gets upset at anything.
Teagarden strikes out swinging a high fastball, 2 down.
And I'll tell you something, Pat, what I like about him, that fastball is in the middle 90s, but it jumps on you. He kind of, I don't know if you call it short arm it, but it comes out. Boom. You don't pick it up right away.
And a sneaky pass.
Oh, yes.
2 outs. Here's Joaquin Arias. Cubs lead 3-0. We are in the 5th. Now the next offering. Popped up foul and back out of play. But another good thing about a young player coming through in that brutal pressure situation is that the next time he experiences it, hey, I've been here.
Yeah.
I came through before. I can do it again.
I think he's got that personality. I really do.
Low and outside for a ball. It's 2-1.
There's no, when you look at it, any hot dog in him. You know, he's all business. You can just see the concentration, and that's what you got to have.
Caridad used as a starter mainly at AAA Iowa a year ago. His pitch popped up, right side foul, looking up into the sun is Hawk Power, over near the railing, and this ball is out of play. Cubs lead 3-0, out hitting Texas 6-2. We are in the 5th. Getting back to Ben Sheets' outing for Oakland yesterday. He faced 10 batters, gave up 8 hits and a walk, and another man reached on an error and gave up 10 runs without retiring a single batter. Popped a foul out of play. He had elbow problems that required surgery a year ago, missed all of last year. And his quote, I almost laughed when I read it, Ron. He said, "I felt great." I felt great. Here's a pitch outside for a ball.
You know,
and that's ball 4.
Knowing him and the competitor he is, Pat, so evidently he didn't mind getting beat up as long as that arm felt pretty good. Although it probably didn't have very good command.
He said the problem is my good pitches were just called strikes, and my bad ones were hit very hard.
That makes sense.
2 outs and a man at first. Here's Julio Bourbon. Laughing about Carlos Zambrano talking about the team bus breaking down on the way to Tucson yesterday. Carlos said, you know, it was really a very nice bus ride until the engine turned off. Here's the fastball high. Runner goes. Throw to second. Slide. Tag. Got it. Good throw, Soto. Good tag also by the shortstop, Terrio. Grabbed the throw, immediately slapped it down on the sliding Arias to end the inning. The play goes 2-6. Rangers don't score. We've played 4.5 innings. It's the Cubs 3 and Texas nothing.
Ryan Dempster. John Williams has serious issues. Weekdays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on the home of the Cubs, Chicago's WGN Radio 720.
Cubs tickets available for April and May, and also on various dates throughout the season. Give the Cubs a call at 1-800-THE-CUBS or visit Cubs.com. Also, the mezzanine suites are available. Perfect for a range of events, including corporate outings. Also, big family gatherings. The suites at Wrigley can accommodate anywhere between 15 and 100 guests. Special incentives are available for April and May renters, including on-field group photos and ceremonial first pitch opportunities. Again, go to Cubs.com for more information. Bottom of the 5th, Ryan Terrio will lead off and take high for a ball. Ryan made a good, quick tag on that stolen base.
Yeah, he did. That ball was kind of sailing a little bit up, and he got it. As soon as he got it, he came right down on the back.
A new left-handed hurler in the game for the Rangers at this point. Terrio has reached twice. Safe on an error and single. This single ignited a 3-run rally in the third. And the Cubs continue to lead 3-0.
Did they announce him?
Who's that, Ron?
The pitcher?
They did. And this looks like C.J. Wilson. That's who it is. C.J. Wilson.
You're good. You know, I noticed you watched him, the number as soon as he turned around. And they did as you turned. You're good.
Just buying some time.
I know. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
It's like when you're in trouble and you have to think of an alibi real quick.
Oh, you do well.
Not that you would know anything about that. Here is a pitch foul down the left field line, 3-2.
Your alibis are a lot better than mine.
Did you ever come up with an alibi for that yogurt machine story here in Phoenix some years back?
I tell you, that.
I'll retell it for those who may have forgotten it. Terrio takes strike 3 call. A fastball on the inside edge. C.J. Wilson strikes out Terrio 1 away, and here's Kosuke. It was at the Diamondbacks ballpark. They called it Chase Field in those days, but in the press room there was a yogurt machine. Delicious frozen yogurt.
You got to tell them it's on the side, hidden kind of, because they don't open that up until the third inning.
Kosuke hits a big chop to short. Elvis Andrews will throw him out 2 down. And there was a big sign on this yogurt machine. Again, this is about a half hour before the game. It says, "Do not turn on until game time." And Ron, who is obviously working with me once the game starts, figured, I can't wait until game time. I've got to have that yogurt right now.
I was the only one in the place, and when it started, I tried to stop it, and then I just took off. And as I was running out, someone coming in.
Xavier Nady takes a strike. Nady with a 2-run double. But Ron turns on the machine against the orders. The big sign, don't turn on until game time. Ron says nonsense. Turns it on, happily fills up his cup of yogurt. And then Ron tries to turn the machine off, and that's when the trouble starts. He could not turn the machine off. Yogurt starts spilling out over onto the counter. Now a group of people are staring at Ron. Some reporters were actually laughing. I admit I was one of those. 1-2, the pitch to Nady, strike 3 call. Now yogurt is starting to spill out onto the floor. There is a mountain of yogurt on the ground. And Ron, instead of asking for somebody to help, does what any mature 8th grader would have done. He simply ran away. He ran away with his eyes wide open, full of fear. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
My
3 up, 3 down. At the end of 5, the score, Cubs 3, Rangers nothing. But the look on your face.
it's Ryan Dempster. You're listening to 2010 spring training action on the home of the Chicago Cubs, Chicago's WGN Radio 720.
The fifth inning brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. Fifth Third Bank, fifth inning comes your way every single day. Pat and Ron with you from Mesa, Arizona. Cubs lead 3-0. We are in the sixth as Smilene Caridad starts his second inning of work and delivers a low inside curve to Elvis Andrus. Andrus has lined out and grounded out. The next pitch in there for a called strike. And that yogurt machine story always makes me laugh, Ron. The next night, the lady behind the counter saw you and said, "Would you like some more yogurt?" Here's a fastball, fly ball to right, pretty well hit, long run toward the corner. Kosuke slides in foul territory and cannot make the play. Foul ball. Kosuke sliding out of our view. Grandstands block our vision. Kosuke is okay.
Yeah. Boy, he's a good outfielder, Pat. He gets a jump on the ball. He's as good a right fielder I've seen.
Julio Bourbon popped up to Kosuke on the first pitch of the inning. Elvis Andrus with a count of 1-2. Sixth inning, Cubs lead 3-0. Caridad to Andrus. Fastball is outside for a ball. And it won't be long, less than 3 weeks before the regular season starts. Thinking of that opening series down in Atlanta. Carlos Zambrano and Derek Lowe in the opener. Swing and a miss. Good curveball got him. Two down, and here's David Murphy. Jair Jurgens will start game 2 for the Braves against Ryan Dempster of the Cubs. And then game 3, a compelling matchup featuring two good young right-handers. Randy Wells for the Cubs and Tommy Hanson of Atlanta. We have not yet seen Hanson. We've read about him. We've seen video of him. He has not yet pitched in a game against the Cubs. He was 11-4 as a rookie last year. We'll see him in game 3 of the regular year.
They're going to have a pretty good team. There's no doubt.
Swinging a foul back. There was a big article today, Ron, about the phenom, the young outfielder, Jason Hayward. Did you read about this guy?
No.
Hayward is just 20 years old. He's from Atlanta. And I've read several stories about this kid. A fastball is in there for strike 3 call. We'll get back to Hayward in a moment. 3 up, 3 down. Very good pitching by the Cubs today. Silva 4 innings, and now 2 shutout innings from Smilene Caridad. At the end of 5.5, Cubs 3, Rangers nothing.
Hey, it's Derek Lee. Greg Jarrett gets the Wrigley Life rolling every weekday morning from 5 to 9 on the home of the Cubs, Chicago's WGN Radio 720.
With Ron Santo, Pat Hughes in Mesa, Arizona. We are delighted you are joining us on this Tuesday afternoon. Marlon Byrd leads off the Cubs' 6th inning and takes a fastball high from the left-hander Wilson, ball 1. Cubs lead 3-0. Now the 1-0. Byrd will look at a strike. Getting back to this kid for Atlanta, the outfield prospect Jason Hayward, 20 years old. How about this size? 6'5", 245 pounds. He was the USA Today Minor League Player of the Year last season as Byrd swings and misses. And they tell me he has tremendous power. And they say he has patience at the plate and instincts on the base paths beyond his years. Bobby Cox is very high on him. Byrd takes a fastball inside 2-2, so he might be in that opening day lineup.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Bobby Cox used to have a base coach by the name of Bobby Dews. I remember him, D-E-W-S. Listen to what he says about this kid, Jason Hayward. Strike 3 called as Byrd is out on strikes.
Boy, this left-hander has been fanning the field.
3 of the 4 men he has faced. Wilson has struck out. Cubs lead by 3, last of the 6th. Here's Micah Hoffbauer. Bobby Dews, who is a consultant for Bobby Cox with Atlanta, says Hayward is blessed with a lot of great talent, as much as anybody in the game has ever had coming in. Wow. And he says he's also blessed with having Bobby Cox as his first manager in the big leagues of what will probably be a Hall of Fame journey. Now, those are some pretty strong statements.
That's very strong.
Wow.
Age 20. God.
We'll see.
Is he a writer or just a...
No, Bobby Dews is a former instructor and a former coach for Bobby Cox and now works as a consultant in the Braves organization. He's been around the game for a long time. Yeah. Chipper Jones was quoted in the article talking about what it was like for him to play under Bobby Cox as a young player. Hoffbauer fouls it away.
Bobby's a good man.
They've had so many good young players come through that Atlanta system. Yeah. Chipper Jones, Andrew Jones, Rafael Furcal, Brian McCann, and now Tommy Hanson a year ago. Strike 3 called. Hoffbauer is out on strikes.
But, I mean, from Atlanta, right? All these guys.
Through the Brave system,
Who was out there that they traded?
Jeff Francoeur. He came up through there. They had pitcher Steve Avery. They had David Justice.
Oh, yeah.
They had Ryan Plesko. They've got a lot of good talent. 2 outs, nobody on. Cubs lead 3-0, 6th inning, and the batter is Soriano. Fastball is high, ball 1. Hayward, Ron, is an Atlanta native. He's from suburban Atlanta. So that's another thing that may, I don't know, add a little more pressure to him trying to break in with the Braves.
Yeah.
I would think.
Oh, absolutely.
In your hometown? And
to have that much, maybe, I mean, it just depends. But putting that kind of pressure, Hall of Fame, and gee.
Hayward hit a 480-foot home run off Max Scherzer of the Tigers. Fly ball to left, shallow, racing in, making the catch is Murphy to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We move to the 7th inning here in the Cactus League. The score, the Cubs 3 and the Rangers 0. WGN Weather Center forecast.
Hi, I'm Derek Lee, and Steve Cochran wishes he was me. And listen to him weekday afternoons at 4 on Chicago's WGN Radio 720.
Marcos Mateo pitching for the Cubs as we go to the 7th inning. If you are just joining us for this ball game today, we are in the 7th. The Cubs lead 3-0. They scored all of their runs in the 3rd inning with 2 outs. Ryan Terrios singled. Kosuke Fukudome doubled. Both men scored on a double by Xavier Nady, and then Nady scampered home on a single by Marlon Byrd. And that's where we are. Excellent pitching by the Cubs today. Mateo, the 3rd hurler of the day. 2 shutout innings for Caridad. A swing and a miss by Nelson Cruz, and the count is now no balls and 2 strikes.
That was a good fastball, Mateo. Mateo last year, spring training, Pat, was very impressive. Lou really liked him.
Popped the foul, right side, down the line, chasing it, hawk power, no play from Micah.
He throws the ball very, very well. He's got a sinking fastball, but it's around 94, 95. And he's got a breaking ball, but he got hurt. I can't remember what happened, but he's back and having a pretty good spring.
Here's the windup and the 0-2, and it's outside for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Nelson Cruz. The pitch by Mateo. Curve got him swinging.
Woo.
Good sharp breaking ball. Might have been a slider.
Yeah, it was.
1 away, and here's Chris Davis. The Rangers have not had a base runner since the 2nd inning. Silva set down the last 7 he faced. Caridad retired all 6 that he saw. And now Mateo gets the first man to face him.
How many starters are here today, would you say, Pat?
For the Rangers?
Yeah.
Davis fouls it away. Certainly Nelson Cruz is a starter.
Yeah.
So is Elvis Andrews.
Okay.
David Murphy will see a lot of playing time. Teagarden, the catcher, may play with Jared Saltalamacchia battling him for playing time. But you've got guys like Josh Hamilton and Vladimir Guerrero. They're not here today.
Right.
Now the 0-2 pitch, a fastball is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Michael Young, their outstanding infielder, is not here. And the next offering fouled away, and it remains 1-2. So I'd say they've got 3 or 4 regulars here today.
Yeah.
You're alluding to the fact that it's a little difficult to always evaluate performances because of the competition.
Right.
It's always been that way in spring training ball. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Good sharp breaking ball, 2 down. That does make the job difficult for general managers, pitching coaches, managers.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You kind of have to combine both the results and also just what you're seeing.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. And you've got to look, too, Pat, at, as far as pitching goes, if you got a guy throwing strikes.
Brown hits a fly ball to center, Ron. Sam Fold is there to grab it to end the inning. We'll get back to this in a minute. The Rangers do nothing. We have played 6.5 innings. It's time for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Citgo. The score, the Cubs lead the Rangers by a score of 3-0.
To invite you to take your Knights to new heights at their 2 locations just off the 101. Today, one lucky fan will get a chance to elevate their game at Casino Arizona with a great dining and entertainment package for 4 that includes dinner at the Eagles Buffet and tickets to Showstoppers Live, America's greatest musical tribute, performing in the showroom of Casino Arizona. Also, if one of the Cubs hits a home run during the 7th inning of today's game, our lucky fan will receive $100 or $500 for a grand slam. Today's lucky fan is seated in Section 107, Row P, Seat 2. That's Section 107, Row P, Seat 2. Now please join the Chicago Cubs boosters of Central Illinois in singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
From the heartland of America, Peoria, Illinois, the Chicago Cub boosters, some 55 strong, some here for a 20th year. And this is also where many of the great Cub announcers learned their trade. And now, in the words of the immortal Harry Carey, let me hear ya! 1, 2, 3, take me out to the ball. It's a shame. 1, 2, 3, fracture. Let's get some more runs.
Medicare supplement insurance plans from the
This is Lou Piniella. I'm Joel Quenville. You're listening to the home of the Blackhawks and Cubs, Chicago's WGN Radio 720.
Mike Fontenot hits a little dribbler to the right side of the mound, picked up by Wilson. He turns and throws to first in time. Fontenot is out number 1. 1 down, last of the 7th inning with Ron Santo, Pat Hughes in Mesa, Arizona. Cubs lead 3-0, and the batter is Giovanni Soto. Giovanni has popped out and drawn a walk, and he takes a strike.
There's a real big Cub fan, Pat. She's been a Cub fan. Always listens to us, Janet Schreiber. And she's from Streamwood, Illinois. And we want to say hello to her. She always listens.
Bless her heart. Thank you for listening.
Yep.
And it goes to everyone who tunes in on a regular basis. Robinson Chirinos is pinch hitting, and he slams it foul down the left field line. Chirinos has replaced Soto. All of the Cubs get a day off tomorrow. It's their only scheduled off day for the entire month of March.
Yeah, Lou was saying how much he's looking forward to it, and the rest of the guys.
The 1-2 in there for a call, strike 3. Chirinos out on strikes. And this will bring up Jeff Baker, who has replaced Chad Tracy over at third base.
I interviewed Jeff today, Pat, and he really has enjoyed. He talked about how impressive the Cub organization is, how much fun he had last year, and did a real good job. And he's just happy to be a part of the Cub organization. And he's going to be seeing a lot of. He'll be seeing a lot of playing time, no doubt, and it's between him and Baker and Fontenot.
Baker drives one in the air, deep left center, back goes Bourbon, it's got a chance, gone!
Yeah.
Jeff Baker, a long home run to left center, Cubs lead 4-0.
And that fan's going to get $100. How's that?
Baker, a booming drive just to the left of dead center. First home run of the day by anybody, and the Cubs lead by 4. And the batter, Bobby Scales. Here's the pitch on the way to Bobby. Fly ball, left field, playable this time for Murphy. He will put the squeeze to it to end the inning. The Cubs get a run on the home run by Baker. We go to the 8th inning. It's the Cubs 4 and the Rangers nothing.
Hi, it's Derek Lee. Gary Myers, breathtaking. Weekday afternoons at 1 on the home of the Cubs, Chicago's WGN Radio 720.
All Cubs home runs this year are sponsored by your Chicago area, Northwest Indiana Lexus dealers. And that Jeff Baker's home run in that last inning. And this year it's going to be sponsored by your Chicago area, Northwest Indiana Lexus dealers.
8th inning, Cubs lead 4-0. Justin Smoak, S-M-O-A-K, is batting for the Rangers. That'd be a good name for a pitcher, wouldn't it?
What? Smoke.
He is smoking fast. Here's the 0-2 pitch on the way. Low and inside to the left-handed batter. Marcos Mateo still on the mound for the Cubs. Cubs pitching utterly dominant this afternoon. Rangers have managed just 2 singles in the first 7 innings and no runs. The pitch. Dribbled foul off the foot of Smoak. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We will have 3 broadcasts in a row starting Friday afternoon. The Cubs will play the White Sox Friday. It's over in the Glendale area. Then Saturday, the Cubs are right back here in Mesa, and we will have that game for you against Kansas City. And the pitch drilled in the air. Deep right field. This ball is back to the wall and gone.
He smoked it.
Yes, he did. Justin Smoak with a home run to the bullpen and right. And the Rangers finally get on the board. It's 4-1.
Well, that was great timing on that fastball.
And the batter, Taylor Teagarden. Teagarden will leave. This is Kevin Richardson batting for the first time. Richardson takes low and outside, ball 1. It's Saturday here against KC after the game Friday over in Glendale against the White Sox. Swing and a miss, good fastball. And then Sunday against Cincinnati. The Reds now training in Arizona over in Goodyear. And Ron and I will have that game for you as well. So 3 broadcasts in a row starting Friday afternoon. Outside from Mateo, 2-1. Big crowd still waiting for the attendance. This might be the biggest one of the spring.
I would say so far.
Swinging a foul back at the plate by Richardson. The biggest crowd so far, 12,712 to see the Cubs and White Sox on March 6th. But this is going to be close to that.
Yeah. I think it's going to be over. But what do I know?
The 2-2 swing and a miss. That's his best fastball right there.
Yeah.
Mateo reaching back for a little something extra.
You know, in that home run, I don't think it was a fastball. I think it might have been a slider that was up. That's it for Mateo.
Lou Piniella is going to take another look at a new pitcher from the bullpen here in the 8th inning with 1 away, nobody on, and a run in. We'll take a timeout and come right back to Mesa. The score, the Chicago Cubs 4 and the Texas Rangers 1. This is the WGN Cubs Radio Network.
Weather, we've got you covered with Tom Skilling's complete forecast on the radio. Accurate, complete, and dependable. Chicago's WGN Radio 720.
Top of the 8th, the run in. 1 down, nobody on. Right-hander Jeff Stevens now pitching for the Cubs. Cubs lead Texas 4-1. Cubs baseball brought to you by Permaseal Basement Systems and Foundation Repair. Stevens delivers low and outside to the right-handed batting Joaquin Arias. A lot of changes taking place on both sides. Swinging a foul back. This new pinch hitter is Renny Osuna. Renny, R-E-N-N-Y, Osuna. Now the 1-1 from Stevens. Check swing on a fastball in on the hands. Foul back. Almost looked like it hit him.
Yeah, well, he's not really ready to hit it, doesn't look like. He drops that bat over his head, and see that, how he does that? And he's not, and then he gets quiet, but
curve is outside for a ball. 2-2 on Renny Osuna. Again, the Cubs played down in Texas in May. We were there in June of 07. Line to short, caught by Starlin Castro. Starlin, the new Cubs shortstop, snatching that line drive, hit by Osuna, 2 away rather, and the batter Julio Bourbon. or perhaps a pinch hitter. This is Engel Beltre. Engel Beltre, left-handed batter, facing Jeff Stevens. I remember when we were there a couple of years, actually 3 years ago now, Ron, down in Texas for a series. Two things I remember, and you'll recall these. Sammy Sosa hit his 600th home run when we were there.
Against us.
Yes, off Jason Marquis. Here's the 0-1 to Beltre outside. And that same night, the legendary singer B.J. Thomas dropped by for a visit.
Yeah.
Raindrops keep falling on my head.
Yes.
And what a nice man he was.
He's a wonderful guy. He was in Jeff's movie, did the music, and was an actor in it.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Beltre. Cubs lead 4-1, top of the 8th, 2 down. Stevens saw some big league activity a year ago with the Cubs. The right-hander fires low for a ball, 2-2. Stevens trying to battle for one of those bullpen spots.
There's a couple of them open.
Stevens, part of that Mark DeRosa trade in December of 2008, came from the Indians organization. He got into 11 games a year ago. And his pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. Stevens strikes out Beltre, and the inning is over. The Rangers get a run on the homer by Justin Smoke. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Cubs 4, Texas 1.
Hi, I'm Derek Lee, and Steve Cochran wishes he was me. And listen to him weekday afternoons at 4 on Chicago's WGN Radio 720.
Tyler Colvin having a red-hot spring. Takes outside for a ball. Had 2 more hits yesterday. 1 ball and 1 strike on Tyler Colvin.
It's been amazing, Pat. I knew as good a hitter as he is at 6'3", at 190 pounds. We saw him last year when he came up to the big leagues and finally healthy. And now with 25 pounds more, the ball's just jumping off his bat. He's got a very good swing. And he's a guy, Pat, though, that's going to have to play every day. You know, you don't want to waste a talent like that. He's never played in AAA ball, so we'll just have to wait and see. Because he's the kind of guy that you like. I know if one of the outfielders got hurt, he'd be the first guy that they would call on.
Colvin takes down low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. C.J. Wilson still pitching for the Rangers. Cubs have led ever since the 3rd inning when Xavier Nady cracked a 2-run double and Marlon Byrd singled to drive in Nady. Line to center, a base hit.
A hitting machine. Whoa, what a nice throw.
Tyler Colvin, a leadoff single, and here is Xavier Nady. Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID. This is the WGN Cubs Radio Network. Nady has doubled and driven in 2. That's the biggest hit of the day by anybody in this game. Cubs have led ever since that 2-run double by Nady in the 3rd inning. He drives one in the air. Right center on the run, Bourbon. It's over his head, off the wall, over the wall. Bouncing over the wall. Ground rule double. Cost the Cubs a run.
Yeah.
Nady's drive landing on the warning track in right center, hopping up over that 10-foot high fence. Colvin would have scored, but he has to hold at 3rd.
Yeah, he was rounding 3rd. What do you think of that rule?
And here is a new good player in the game. This is James Aducci. You're talking about the ground rule double rule?
You know that usually in a situation like that, although you might have to hold up to see, but that ball was over his head and he could have scored.
You're saying you'd like to see the rule changed, Ron?
Yeah.
Where if you're sure the guy would have scored, you let him score?
Yeah, let it be an umpire's judgment.
Ground ball to 3rd. The runners hold. The ball juggled by Brown, but he picks it up and throws out Aducci at first, 1 down. 1 away. Runners still at 2nd and 3rd. Cubs lead 4-1, bottom of the 8th. And here is Hoffpower. I think sometimes it would make sense because a play like this, Colvin would have scored standing up. No question. Right. However, I could see some borderline plays where huge arguments would take place.
Yeah, you're right.
So I think that would be opening a can of worms unnecessarily. Here's Hoffpower. But I've thought that many times too, Ron.
Well, I mean, it's happened both sides. So, you get a break sometimes. Ball bouncing. If you're
Hoffpower takes a strike, especially when you've got 2 outs in the inning and a fast runner at first. You know he's going to score on almost any double deep to the outfield. But that's a baseball rule. It's been in the books forever. And again, you would have some wonderful arguments if you ever changed that rule. Can't you imagine that? My guy would have scored. No, he wouldn't have. Oh, I could see that. 1 ball, 1 strike. The stretch, the pitch. Low and inside to Hoffpower. Infield in for the Rangers. Hey, folks, now you can turn down the sound on the TV and watch the Cubs game while listening to the radio broadcast. We'll talk about that in a minute as Hoffpower tries to drive in some insurance runs. Some State Farm insurance runs. And the pitch. Big chop right side. Runners hold. Arias, the second baseman, throws out Hoffpower. 2 down. Here's what you do to get a Sports Sync radio. Click on the Shop WGN tab at WGNradio.com. Yes, click on the Shop WGN tab on WGNradio.com for details on the Sports Sync radio. It allows you to match radio play-by-play to TV. 2 outs, it's up to Sam Full, 2nd and 3rd. The lefty Wilson fires a strike. Nice to see Ron Santo Jr. in the booth today.
I have my grandson here, my son, and my son-in-law.
Here's the strike 1 pitch on the way to Full. Bouncer to second base. Arias will throw him out, and Wilson gets out of the jam. The Cubs squander a second and third no-out opportunity. We go to the ninth inning. The score, the Chicago Cubs 4 and the Texas Rangers 1.
This is Coy Hill. You're listening to Chicago Cubs Baseball. Chicago's WGN Radio 720.
Ninth inning, Cubs 4, Rangers 1. Left-hander James Russell will try to close this one out for the Cubs. The bullpen is empty, so Russell with a chance for a save. Left-hander having a good spring. Russell in 3 games has not yet given up a run. 24-year-old selected by the Cubs in the 2007 draft, a 14th round pick. James Russell. Cubs baseball today brought to you by Permaseal Basement Systems and Foundation Repair. For the Rangers, leading off here in the ninth inning, Ray Olmedo. Olmedo, a right-handed batter to face Russell. Big crowd, over 12,000 here today. I believe I heard 12,157. Here's the pitch by Russell. A fastball sinks low and away from the left-hander, ball 1. Now the next offering, fastball just off the outside edge, 2-0. Cubs trying to win for the 9th time against 5 Cactus League losses. The next pitch popped up, shallow center. The second baseman, Bobby Scales, makes the catch, and that's out number 1. Olmedo pops out, and Brandon Boggs coming up. Hey, Cub fans, if you want to be a contestant in the Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game,